Reacher star Alan Ritchson returns to Blue Mountain State in sequel series. The cult sports comedy starring Reacher actor Alan Ritchson, Blue Mountain State, is reportedly gearing up for a long-awaited return, as a sequel series is now in the works. According to sources and report by Deadline, the Blue Mountain State sequel will see Ritchson reprise the role of linebacker Kevin "Thad" Devlin Castle, one of his earlier roles, alongside original co-leads Darren Brooks and Chris Romano. The series comes courtesy of Lionsgate Television, and while the report says that the Blue Mountain State sequel series has not fully landed yet, and that negotiations are ongoing, the studio is eyeing Amazon to bring the project to life following their Ritchson-led hit series Reacher. Should Amazon pass, the other likely destination is Netflix, where Blue Mountain State found new audience and cemented its cult status following its original 3-season run on Spike, explains the report. Beginning back in 2010, Blue Mountain State is set in the titular American university where class comes last and where the weekdays are just a primer for Saturday's big game. The fictional football powerhouse depicted in the comedy series is coached by perennial winner Marty Daniels, and his charges include talented quarterbacks Alex and Radon and team leader Thad, who relishes the idea of hazing the incoming freshmen. The series centers on the main trio as they attempt to juggle university life, football, and all manner of wild partying. Blue Mountain State was created by Chris Romano and Eric Falconer, who will reportedly return for the sequel series. The last time Ritchson played Thad was in Blue Mountain State: The Rise of Thadland, a feature-length follow-up that was released in 2016. Outside the world of college football, Alan Ritchson will return as the ultimate loner Jack Reacher in Reacher Season 3. The first season of Reacher landed on Prime Video in 2022 and introduces Ritchson as the title character, a former U.S. Army military police major now living as a nomad who suddenly finds himself dragged back into action when he is arrested for murder. The second season, which concluded last month and is based on the 11th book in author Lee Child's renowned series of novels, picks up with the titular character who, after members of his old military unit start turning up dead, has just one thing on his mind: revenge. It has now been revealed which Lee Child novel the third season of Amazon's Reacher will be based on, with Season 3 taking inspiration from the 7th book by Child, Persuader, meaning that audiences will see Alan Ritchson's action hero going undercover to rescue an informant. Reacher must go undercover to rescue an informant held by a haunting foe from his past. The novel, and therefore likely the series, will find Reacher working unofficially with the Drug Enforcement Administration, DA, and working largely alone. Which is just the way he likes it. When Alan Ritchson burst onto the screen as Jack Reacher in Reacher, the Amazon Prime adaptation of Lee Child's popular book series, he quickly became a fan favorite. His portrayal of the towering, hard-hitting, no-nonsense ex-military policeman was widely praised. But for many of Ritchson's fans, especially those who have followed his career since its early days, this wasn't the first time they had seen him command the screen. Before his stoic turn as Reacher, Ritchson was best known for his role as the wild and reckless college quarterback Thad Castle in the cult comedy series Blue Mountain State, BMS. Now fans of both sides of Ritchson's acting spectrum are in for a treat. The actor is returning to his hilarious, larger-than-life roots in a new Blue Mountain State sequel series. A comedy legend returns to his roots. Blue Mountain State, which originally aired from 2010 to 2011, became an iconic part of television history, beloved for its raunchy humor, over-the-top college shenanigans, and absurd but oddly endearing characters. Set in the fictional college football program at Blue Mountain State University, the series was a no-holds-barred parody of the college sports world, filled with ridiculous parties, hazing rituals, and team hijinks. At the center of it all was Thad Castle, played by Ritchson, the team's ego-driven, testosterone-fueled linebacker and later captain. Thad was a force of chaotic energy, loud, brash, and obsessed with his own alpha male persona, but also strangely innocent and loyal to his teammates. Ritchson's comedic timing and physical presence made Thad a character fans couldn't help but love, even as they cringed at his antics. Over time, Blue Mountain State gained a loyal fan base that followed Ritchson as he transitioned into more serious roles. The news of a Blue Mountain State sequel series comes as a surprise, but also feels like a natural step for Ritchson, who has always shown versatility in his acting. After years of playing more serious characters like Reacher, fans are excited to see him return to the comedic, unhinged world of Thad Castle. It's a testament to his range as an actor that he can effortlessly move between such different genres, and it will be fascinating to see how he revives the larger-than-life character that helped launch his career. What can fans expect from the sequel? Although details about the Blue Mountain State sequel are still scarce, there's no doubt that the new series will keep the same irreverent tone and outlandish humor that made the original a hit. Set several years after the events of the original show, the sequel will follow Thad Castle as he returns to Blue Mountain State University, this time as the head coach of the football team. The premise is ripe for comedy gold as Thad, who is never known for his subtlety or intelligence, now has to manage a new generation of players while still navigating the craziness of college sports. Thad's transition from player to coach will undoubtedly be filled with hilarious moments. After all, as a player, Thad was notorious for his immature behavior and unorthodox methods of leadership. Fans can expect him to bring those same qualities to his role as coach, likely leading to absurd training techniques, wild game day antics, and plenty of conflicts with school administrators and rival teams. But there's also a possibility that the show could explore how Thad has changed, or hasn't, over the years. Has he matured in any way since his playing days, or is he still the same Thad Castle who once initiated his teammates in ridiculous hazing rituals and threw wild parties? One of the key appeals of Thad's character was his ability to be both outrageous and strangely relatable, and it will be interesting to see if the sequel series taps into that same balance. A perfect timing for a return. The timing of Ritchson's return to Blue Mountain State couldn't be more perfect. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in revisiting classic shows and characters, with many beloved series receiving sequels or reboots. From Fuller House to Cobra Kai, there's clearly an appetite for revisiting fan-favorite characters in new contexts. The original Blue Mountain State audience, now in their 30s and beyond, are likely to appreciate a nostalgic trip back to their college TV days, while a new generation of viewers may be drawn in by Ritchson's star power and the promise of outrageous humor. Ritchson himself seems excited about the opportunity to bring Thad back to life. In a recent interview, he commented on how much fun he had playing the character originally and how the role allowed him to embrace his comedic instincts. Thad is one of those characters who just doesn't leave you, Ritchson said. He's larger than life, and I think fans are going to love seeing where he is now, what's changed, and what hasn't. It's going to be a blast. Of course, returning to Blue Mountain State doesn't mean Ritchson is done with his action-packed role as Jack Reacher. With Reacher Season 2 on the horizon, the actor is balancing both sides of his career, comedy and drama, in a way that few actors can. It's clear that Ritchson is fully embracing the diverse range of characters he's able to portray, from the intense and brooding Reacher to the outrageous and ridiculous Thad Castle. The legacy of Blue Mountain State. As fans await the premiere of the Blue Mountain State sequel series, it's worth reflecting on the lasting impact the original show has had. While it may have flown under the radar during its initial run, Blue Mountain State has since gained cult status, particularly among college students and young adults who appreciate its wild humor and no-holds-barred take on college life. For many, it was a show